and welcome to this quick tutorial. Today we're going to talk about a very common question that we get is why is it that someone goes through DNA, they get onto a team, but then the team lead cannot find them in My Awaken, or the team lead cannot see them at all, and how do we get to where the person goes from being invisible in My Awaken to being visible? Now, some of this you may have heard, we may have gone over bits and pieces, but just bear with me because there's a couple of things that we don't want you to miss. So the first thing that we want to talk about is unlisted status. So you may be familiar, again, we're constantly getting team leads and people in DNA, things are changing, volunteers are onboarding, so you might know some of this. The person that's stepping in as a table host, as a moderator, as a host, as a speaker in front of DNA may not know this, so this could be also very valuable information to them. So unlisted status is, put it this way, anytime you give an offering or you fill out some sort of a card, a high card, you respond to the altar, you fill out a response card at the altar, you go into My Awaken and you have a status, and it's called unlisted status. So it's really kind of like an account, but it's not been activated. And so we want to make sure to help people in DNA that probably have an account by the time they get to DNA because they've probably already filled out a high card. We want to help them move from unlisted to listed. That way, the team lead can schedule them for events, schedule them on a Sunday, on a midweek service, be able to see them in the group, have a snapshot of what's going on, take a health pulse of their team. Without moving them from unlisted to listed, the team lead's frustrated, they can't see them, they're texting us, emailing us, and they're frustrated. So taking 3 to 5 minutes in DNA to do this very critical interactive action is well worth it in the amount of time that it saves across all campuses. So we want, and then in addition to that, the RSVP process. If they need to RSVP for DNA, they need to RSVP or again accept or decline for some sort of responsibility that they're scheduled for across the campuses. It helps there as well. So we want to make sure to what I'm going to show you. This is something we want to take 3 to 5 minute block of time at DNA 1. And then we also want to do it again at DNA 3 because people may have joined in the middle of DNA, and we want to make sure by the time they get to onboarding that they're from unlisted to listed status. So it's very important that we do this both at DNA 1 and also DNA 3. If it's not in the run sheet, please block out 3 to 5 minutes of time. Add it to the run sheet. Please forward this video to your moderator, whoever is kind of hosting DNA. So you can see here that we have unlisted and we have listed. We want to move them from unlisted to listed so they're visible to the all team leads across all campuses or your specific campus. So literally, you are saying, hey everyone, now what we're going to do, and you literally say, why don't you pull out your phone? Allow for a couple of minutes of awkward silence. The host or moderator would literally already have, you've already forwarded this to your table hosts, and literally they should be physically pulling out their phones. We've had some challenges where this is kind of a drive-by. Hey, make sure and request an account at myawaken.online. 70% or more people don't do it, which is why we want them to physically pull out their smart device. And then once they get there, allow for a minute or so of awkward silence, look and let them know you're expecting them to pull out the device. Say, go to myawaken.online. And then once they're at myawaken.online, if you don't have a profile yet, select Request Account. Select your primary campus. Now remember, you can see here, depending on the booklet, it's around page 12 or 13. We've had some reprints, but this is right out of the DNA booklet. So your moderator could literally say, why don't you turn in your booklet to page 12 or 13 or just check your DNA booklet. It may have changed a little bit with a reprint, but it's somewhere around page 12 or 13. You got your phone out? Are you on page 12 or 13? And see that they're nodding their head yes. Then you'll see a little button underneath login that says request account. Why don't you go ahead and click request account? Your table hosts have already watched this video, so they're kind of helping them through the process. Some people are not as tech savvy as others, so having the table hosts watch this and help walk them through, I think, is a way for us to be proactive instead of reactive during this time. And then literally they select their campus and save. Done and dusted. It's that easy. It takes 3 to 5 minutes, if that. So that will move them from unlisted to being listed by going to myawaken.online, clicking request account, select your campus and save. Very simple, very easy, but it will put out 100 fires that come up later on because leads are frustrated that they can't schedule people and have a snapshot of the health of their team. So please take 3 to 5 minutes in DNA to do this interactive process, not just a quick blurb from up front, but actually having people pull out their phone. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial. Bye for now.